welcome to another episode of Drunk Guys on Chick Flicks, the podcast that does not give a shit if you're sick, Garrett.
Hey.
I'm your host, Matt, and with me, as always, is your co-host, Garrett.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'm kind of sick this week.
And we don't give a shit.
Yeah, apparently nobody gives a shit. That's fine.
People are demanding this, and we will give the people what they want.
Even if I'm congested.
Deal with it.
What are we watching this week, Matt?
We are watching the 2002 film Crossroads, starring Britney Loreline Spears.
Is that her middle name?
No.
Oh, okay.
Zoe Saldana, Taryn Manning, is that correct?
Taryn Manning, yeah, from a bunch of stuff.
Anson Mount, I don't know who that is. Kim Cattrall, Justin Long, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I was going to say, who is the most important character to me?
Kim Cattrall.
I was going to say Dan Aykroyd. I mean,
he's
actually not the most important
You're
character.
such a Sex and the City guy. I just assumed Kim Cattrall.
And I am a Samantha. So,
You're such a Samantha.
But Dan Aykroyd caught me off guard seeing that he was in this movie. So I can't wait.
He is in plenty of garbage.
I can't wait. Anyway, we're watching this movie this week because Matt won the bet last week.
I did, and I promised a shitty movie, and I delivered a shitty movie.
He is like a torture artist. This is like...
The entire lead up to us recording just now, right now, Garrett has texted me saying, "Are you sure you want to do this movie? Are you really sure?"
Every day this week, literally like at least twice every day this week. Look, I mean, you still have time.
You still have time to change it.
Time.
No, it's happening.
Can I just mention, this is not to be confused with the 1986 Crossroads, the timeless tale of Eugene Lightning Boy Martone, played by Ralph Macchio, where he plays the slide guitar and shit, and it's pretty ridiculous. No?
I have
no idea that existed?
Can we watch that anyway?
I mean, that's
like
the point.
After this one?
Yeah, we should probably just cue it up for immediately after this movie.
This movie was directed by Tamara Davis. Not Tamara. Tamara,
sure.
I didn't know that was the name. She also directed movies such as Billy Madison and Half Baked.
Classics. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, but why this and then those? Or those and then this, I guess.
Money's a hell of a drug, man.
It really is.
Right? Like,
I mean, the only reason I see her being as considered as a director for this is that before this, or well, not before this, before most of her movies, she was almost entirely just a music video director.
Okay.
She's done such hits as... No, whatever. She did MMMBop by Hanson.
I would bet, I don't want this to be the bet, but I would bet that this whole movie just feels like a giant, like one long music video. Like from what I remember from the previews and all that from back in the day, I think there's dancing and singing, obviously, because they have to throw that Britney Spears shit in there. Well,
this is nothing but a fucking cash grab for Britney Spears at the time. Come on, that's all this is.
And Aykroyd, man.
Yeah, clearly. He's riding high off of that... What?
No one knows.
No one knows.
Well, at this point.
2004.
Like the 2002.
2002,
yeah,
sorry.
The 2002 Aykroyd, it's a real...
Can't be anything good.
The great Aykroyd crash of 2002.
I think it was earlier than that.
Yeah, well, post-Ghostbusters, right?
Post-Ghostbusters. Well, I was going to say Ghostbusters 2, but that's on the downhill, too.
Nah, what's the one with Vigo? Right?
Yeah,
he is Vigo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Okay.
It's considered the worst of the two Ghostbusters movies.
What about of the three Ghostbusters movies?
I think it's still... No, it's probably considered better than the third one.
I don't know.
I mean, he's in the third one, too.
Do we have a bet for this week?
I don't think we ever came up with the exact terms for the bet, no.
All right, so I've got an idea. Similar to how we did the Paul Rudd age in Clueless. Sorry.
You sound like shit.
I'm dying. So I figured this movie absolutely has to have at least one, if not 1 million instances of Britney Spears singing, because
it's the only reason this movie exists.
Right, it's some shoehorned ridiculous thing
right.
to
it's all just capitalizing on her fame.
Yeah, cross promote, you know, sells albums, sells movies, whatever, right?
Sells Pepsi.
So I'm thinking Price is Right rules. How many times does Britney Spears sing in this movie? I will let you go first. But before...
Wait, closest without going over, right?
Closest without going over. Price is Right. But before we do this, you think about this for 1 second. While I suggest that for this bet, the winner gets to pick the next movie, which is...
Well, it's like standard.
It's a perk, right? That's what we've had.
Right.
But the loser has to come up with the drink, because that's hard. We found that is actually a hard thing.
I always kind of thought with great power comes great responsibility, but if you want to change the terms,
at least for this week, I want the loser to be punished. I want the winner to just not have to worry about it.
I feel like you know how many times she sings this
movie.
I
sincerely don't. I'm not a ringer. This is not loaded. I am not cheating in any way. But I will also let you guess first. How many times does Britney Spears sing in this movie? And that's not counting
like backtracks of her songs.
Like if Drive Me Crazy or whatever is playing in the background, or Hit Me Baby or whatever. Yeah. Who's singing now, Matt?
It was a second. How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, I'm going to say it can't be. What? You're just going to keep going. It can't be like more than 10, right? It's got to. We think it's less than 10.
I would not. If I'm not gonna. I'm not coaching you at all.
No. I'm saying, but like we're both on the same page. It's probably less than that. Right?
I mean, I don't think it's a super long movie. I don't know what the runtime is, but like a 10 seems like a lot.
A hard hour. Yeah. That's it. Hour 5. That's
unless it's like the length of like the entire Lord of the Rings extended cut trilogy, like back to back to back to back. Like 10 seems aggressive.
With this cast, I would watch it. I don't know. I'm going to go with like a conservative 4. I feel like it's conservative.
I'm going to go 3. I'm going to undercut you by 1.
Oh, you're going to be that fucking asshole.
I know it's a dick move.
Yeah, really.
But I like maybe 5, but I'm going 3 because.
And we're talking just her, by the way. Like if like Zoe starts chiming in from the back seat, it's not the same thing.
Well, I mean, if they're singing together,
right? No, that's fine. I'm saying right. I just meant like.
If you think for 1 second that there's going to be a Zoe Saldana solo from the back seat of the road trip or whatever this movie is
wait.
about.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah, hit me.
So at the beginning of the movie, we get young Britney played by her sister Jamie Lynn Spears.
Trivia.
If she sings, does it count? Because it's the same character.
I'm inclined to say no because the bet was Britney.
Okay, fine. Done. So you have 3, I have 4.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's it. What are we drinking this week?
We are drinking, because it is a movie called Crossroads, we are drinking the Two Roads beer, Lil Heaven. I picked Two Roads because they're not mascot, but the symbol, what is it? Logo.
Yeah,
Their logo.
Their logo is
Two
crossroads
crossing.
Of sorts. Yeah.
Love it.
It seems like pretty low-hanging fruit to me, Matt, but
yeah,
good job, I guess.
You fucking
sitting it.
False man. How dare you?
No, it's actually I'm looking forward to drinking this beer. I've had this beer a bunch of times.
I believe it's really a session.
drinkable.
Is it a session?
Yeah, it's a session IPA. Very good.
Love it.
So last bit, do we have any trivia for this movie?
Not really that much. It just, I mean, the Jamie Lynn Spears thing was one of them. Mm-hmm. So thank you. Mm-hmm. Bowling for Soup appears, that band from the early 2000s that no one cares about.
I mean, they've got some good songs.
What was the name of their best of album?
Their best of album, we looked it up at one point when we were looking up the trivia. Their best of album is Songs People Actually Liked.
Hilarious.
I think that's actually
really
smart.
Like that.
Makes me like Bowling for Soup.
Melissa Joan Hart was considered for the character of Mimi.
Which is funny because you got that crossover with her in Drive Me Crazy, which has Adrienne Grenier.
Oh.
And then Britney had the theme song for them, right?
They were both in the music video.
Oh, Melissa Joan Hart was in the music video for that?
Yeah, so was Adrienne Grenier. And the last bit is when they're in the hospital. Spoilers!
Whoa, yeah, what are you doing to me?
Listen, fuck off. When they're in the hospital, it's the same hospital that's used as the TV set for the television show Scrubs.
Oh, do you think someone dies?
Oh, man. Do you think it's like one of her friends?
Like one of them?
One of them.
I think,
not her, clearly. She can't die.
Yeah, she's safe. I don't know. We
will find out.
We're going to have to find out. So Matt and I are going to queue up Crossroads. I'm going to be mad at Matt for at least an hour and a half while we watch it.
I'll probably be mad at me too, but I mean, listen, we can't have fucking gems every episode.
I hope I win. I'm going to give us such a gem next week if I win. I've already got it in mind. Ooh, you're going to love it. So we're going to crack open these Two Roads, and as always, we're sorry for whatever happens next.
And we'll see you on the other side.
I am less mad than I thought I would be at you.
I didn't hate it.
But I am still so mad.
I didn't hate it.
Oh, my God.
Listen, it's bad. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
We watched it. We finished it. We finished it. It's done.
You're done. It's done.
I'm done with it. I'm done with some beers. I still feel like I'm dying on a sick level, which is not what I want.
You sound great.
I thank you so much.
That was gross. You could just hear yourself swallowing phlegm.
I'm a mucus guy.
Oh.
I'm a full of mucus guy. It's your fault. Let's knock one out of the way real quick. The beer. Two Roads Little Heaven Session IPA.
I liked it a lot. I don't think it's like anything spectacular, but it's a super drinkable beer.
Very drinkable. Like it's on par with like a Sierra Nevada.
Just like a straight Sierra Nevada, like the regular, the
really
pale
good.
ale.
Really good. No like standout tastes or anything. No, but really drinkable. All right, so
there's a little bit of sediment on the bottom of it, which is never my favorite thing in a beer. But
I don't mind it. I mean, it's all in there.
Hey,
it's all in there anyway.
We crossed some roads.
It's all poison that we consume. It's all just poison. So
did you take medicine and then drink beer?
You don't shut up.
Shut up, Dad.
Shut up, Dad. You know, Dad. For broad strokes, how'd you feel?
I said before, it's not a bad movie. I mean, it is a bad movie, but I didn't hate it.
Okay,
I thought it was pretty good.
I did hate it,
and I now hate you.
I going into it thought it would be the type of movie where I would try to fall asleep.
Like actively try to fall asleep.
Yeah, like close my eyes.
You know, I wouldn't have let you do that anyway, right?
I know, but so it wasn't quite that bad, but it was very bad. I want to play a game with you. What?
No, no. Go ahead, play the game. Let's play the game.
The game is. Oh, do you want to talk about the bet?
No, we can talk about the bet. Hey, Garrett. How many times did you say she was going to sing in this movie?
I said 3 times.
And how many times did I say?
More than 3 times.
I think it was exactly 4 times. Which doesn't really fucking matter because she sang 6 times.
Yeah, I believe under Bob Barker's original Price is Right rules.
That means I win again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about it. It's gonna be a bad one again, you think?
You know, I might go for a Netflix original. I don't even know. I'm so excited.
I don't even know what Netflix originals are out there in this genre.
Yeah. You'll get well acquainted.
Okay, so
we haven't decided. That might not happen. I don't know. I'll see how I feel.
Listeners, brace yourself, I guess, is what we're taking away from that. So back to the game. We played this game in last week's episode.
I think
Clueless. Matt, 3 sentences or less. Give me the plot of this movie.
I think I'm going to try and take up all my sentences this time instead of just having a short one sentence.
Or an insane run-on sentence?
Well, that was yours.
That was mine. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. 3 childhood friends go separate ways throughout their life. No, I'm not going to be able to do this.
That's 1 sentence.
I know, I'm saying.
You have 2 sentences left.
This is so hard. What is it called? A time capsule brings them back together on their, was it prom? Prom night?
Yes, homecoming or prom or something, yeah.
And a promise brings them to a road trip across the country for many different reasons.
Okay, that's
2. It's 2. That's 2 sentences.
Okay, it felt like 3, but go ahead.
No, you were wrong. And my 3rd sentence is, they really just find themselves on this trip through many, many adventures.
Okay, mine will be virtually identical. However,
virtually identical.
3 childhood friends become real shitty through high school.
What was this?
Through high school?
Through high school, okay.
Some dumb fucking time capsule manages to heal all of those wounds and bridge all of those divides and cause them to go on a cross-country road trip.
And
that's 2.
That's 2.
They all find themselves, but also find each other. Thank you.
Thank you.
On this journey of youthful
exuberance,
self-discovery. The end of the film. Well, that was it for Drunk Guys on Chick Flicks episode.
We have so much more.
Oh no! I think that's it though, right? It's a road trip movie.
Yeah, it's
a road trip movie about friends coming back together.
No, you know what it is, and I mean it's obvious at the end of the movie. It is the longest setup for a music video ever.
Yeah, it's a 93-minute setup
For I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman.
which is like among the hits. It's my least favorite by a country mile.
All she needs is time.
Oh my god, she's got so many good songs before and after this movie, and that is like,
Well, I mean, they can't do the songs after this movie.
no, I know, but I'm saying like I can't.
Time's linear.
It's one of the only like hits that I can't get behind. But yeah, I mean, I would agree.
It's one of the only hits you can't get behind.
So she sits, dude. I can get behind every other Britney Spears hit, maybe ever.
All right.
Oh, so all right. So she
Don't
sings.
point at me.
She sings sick. Yeah, I'm pointing you down. So time capsule. All right.
The teleporting time capsule, because
Well, they have the same stupid box that they had in wherever the fuck they were from.
I don't remember. It was the South or something.
Somewhere west of Louisiana, but somewhere vaguely south, based on the accents that come in and out the entire time.
Specifically, Zoe Saldana and Dan Aykroyd. I don't know what they were doing.
Britney Spears does it too.
Yeah,
and
but
what's
she
her name
has a
does it
southern
too.
accent, like in life.
I mean, just because she says y'all doesn't mean she has a southern accent.
She's from the South. Isn't she from the South? She's from the South.
Neither one of us know. We assume.
But Zoe Saldana specifically, it's just like one scene, she's just
100% in and out.
yeah,
Y'all,
and not even good.
How y'all doing? Oh, you do not declare. Is that I do declare? I do. I mess. I can't do this. I can't do this.
I can't do this. I can't do
So,
this.
some random notes. Britney Spears is like valedictorian.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, she seems with it. She seems like a
when she
hard worker.
when she bumps into Zoe Saldana, like in like the beginning of the movie, she's like, "Watch it, nerd."
I was going to
just
talk about
rolling
this.
my fucking eyes.
The end of that encounter is Zoe Saldana going, "You're so virginal. You're a virgin," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
She said the same thing twice.
Everything is on the nose here. Like, everything is so aggressively on the nose.
This is overacting
that, like,
101 too.
You know, what's her name? Mimi is kind of like the troubled one. Britney Spears is like
this movie is
the churchy valedictorian one.
This movie is just paint by fucking numbers. I called this entire movie
Yeah.
from like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, from like the homecoming dance to Dan Aykroyd giving his thumbs up at the end. Matt literally called just about everything here. So Dan Aykroyd like is lifeless behind the eyes throughout most of this movie. It's very apparent that he's like, "What have I done?
What did I sign on for?"
So Britney Spears plays Lucy. She's valedictorian. She's just supposed to go to med school. Aykroyd's really pushing med school. And then
He worked so hard, Garrett. He worked so hard.
He worked
for
so
her.
hard to save up that money for her college education, which he says verbatim like 2 or 3 times in the movie.
This is what we work for. This is what we work for, Luce.
She feels like she missed out, and that's kind of like her, like,
impetus.
Yeah, for like taking the road trip, right? Like that's her whole
Can
motivation.
we talk about the road trip because was it Mimi? What's her name? The troubled one is Mimi,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't understand where she comes up to these girls who fucking hate each other for
they
like,
have not been friends for easily
many
a
years.
decade. Yeah.
And she comes up to them and she's like, "I'm going cross country. You guys fucking in?"
And they basically all put their hands in on 3 and like have a fun
At
bunch.
first,
like-
At first, they're just like, "No, fuck you," and she gets upset that they say no. I'm like, "What do you mean?"
But then she walks away, and then they find a Polaroid of them at the bottom, and that's like the magic key. Like they're like, "Oh, look at us, we'll go." Like
we must go.
Yeah, like how do we ever resist this horrifying idea?
It sounds like a nightmare.
That was definitely something that was like glaring in the first bit of the movie. How like they hate each other to the point where Zoe Saldana is yelling, "You're a virgin" in the hallway.
She also like tries to beat the shit out of the pregnant one.
When in the beginning?
You remember? No. It's like right. I guess it's not in the beginning, but it's like during the car ride. They dislike each other so much that she's fighting a pregnant girl, and she knows she's pregnant.
Right, and like somehow this is all healed by like history.
Yeah.
Like, which wasn't enough to keep them together, but whatever. So they go on this road trip. I just have like a tally mark of how many times she sings. She sings in the car. She sings karaoke. Ooh, let's talk about that karaoke scene.
Oh my god.
So the radiator breaks on the car. They need to pay for the car to get fixed.
They don't even say what's happening, but all of a sudden they just cut to a room where the 3 of them are like sitting around next to a mirror. I'm like, is this gonna be a fucking sing off? Oh, it's a sing off.
Yeah.
Of course it's a sing off.
And then what's her name? Mimi is supposed to be the lead singer.
Chokes.
And she chokes hard, and then like, oh my God, we happen to have Britney Spears as a backup singer. And she like pops forward and sings I Love Rock and Roll.
The worst. It's so bad.
And it's funny because it's Britney Spears doing karaoke of I Love Rock and Roll, and it's
to her own song,
and, like,
to her own cover.
I don't think Britney Spears has a bad voice. I really like a lot of Britney Spears songs. I know it's autotune, but like, it's bad karaoke, and like everyone in the crowd's like, "Oh my God!"
She doesn't get 3 bars into the song before all the people in the audience start really feeling it.
Yeah, people are basically taking their shirts off and swinging them around their head at this point, and throwing money in the jar for them. Which also, after
hand over fist.
Yeah, just like can't take my money.
Yeah, Garrett goes to the bathroom and from the bathroom yells, "How much money did they make?" And I was like, I don't know, just some. I said something along the lines of, "They never said."
No, the guy after they make a bunch of money in karaoke, the guy that they're with, Ben, who may have killed a guy, is so fucking stupid. So
what a dumb subplot.
He's counting out all the money they made, and she's like, "How much did we make?" And he says, "Enough for the car and the trip." Which I looked him at. I was like, "That is the laziest shit in the world." It's so that there's never a question again about them affording anything. It's like, oh, just more than enough that you never have to ask this question again.
Exactly.
Just a convenient amount. And then let it go.
And then they follow up the scene with them being like all excited to go to this palatial, what they thought was a palatial hotel, and it looks like the shitty motel from the day before when they had no money.
It's the exact same hotel with different
drapes,
with slightly different furniture and better lighting.
And they go straight for the minibar. You never go for the minibar.
You never go for the minibar.
Never go for the minibar.
And Matt like grabbed my arm and said, "Why
would they go for the minibar?"
It's not good. Oh, also when he's counting out the money, just a soundtrack note. There's a couple good soundtrack songs here. Matt, notably, who is the very first song of this movie?
We got another appearance of I was going to say the late, but just the great Madonna. Just putting her in the grave too soon.
I actually think Madonna just turned 60. I think I saw that in the news this week. Yeah, or she's turning 60, which is insane.
I would have thought more. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what do you know? But yeah, Madonna's, what is it? Give yourself to me? What is it?
Open your heart to me.
Open your heart to me. So this genre still has not really failed us. There's Madonna. I think
there's only been one that
Madonna hasn't... songs in basically every.
I think it was literally just What Women Want that hasn't had a Madonna song.
Yeah, but that movie was that movie.
It was too much Frank.
Too much. Yeah, there were. I mean, what they lacked in the Donna.
The Donna.
Yeah, is it not?
No, I don't know.
It's different.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh no! A soundtrack note: Mystical. Shake your ass. Watch yourself.
He got really excited.
Show me. I was also peeing during that, and I just yelled, "Mystical!"
Garrett pees a lot.
So much. Sheryl Crow later.
Oh right, are we just doing soundtrack at this point?
Yeah, I mean it's not lengthy because there's like a lot of Britney Spears like on the soundtrack.
Was there? I thought there was only just like besides I'm Not a Girl,
Not
Yet a Woman.
Well, Bowling for Soup is like 6 songs on it.
I think they had like 3 songs.
Yeah,
That's too much Bowling for Soup. That's too much Bowling for Soup.
Too much. They must have like gotten a discounted rate on Bowling for Soup songs.
No, who wouldn't? Look at it.
Like
who would want that?
Buy 2 get 1 free. I don't even remember the name of their hit. Do you remember the name? Like they have a song called Emily, which is actually an okay song, but I legit don't know a single.
I thought it was like a parody song. Wasn't it some kind of a parody song?
I'm
gonna Google it right now.
No, okay, I'm gonna keep. So, Sheryl Crow. If it makes you happy.
If it makes you happy, and
that's like a big portion of the drive towards the end. I think it's like a couple of minutes of that, and then
I Feel Like a Woman.
Yeah, Shania Twain, Feel Like a Woman. Which felt pretty apropos for this, for like the drive, and it's when the dude's singing sleeping in the back seat.
Which the whole thing is ridiculous to me because if like they had really like if he was asleep in the back of his car, like and they were like laughing and singing and like starting up the car and peeling out the way they do, I'm awake immediately.
I'm awake if there's movement around me and I'm freaking out.
You do have a problem. 1985 is Bowling for Soup. That was 1985.
I still honestly...
Springsteen, Madonna.
Yeah, so it is gimmicky. It's like a gimmicky song, but...
Sorry. Yeah, I'm awake right away. And he has the second of 3, like, shit fits where he just, like,
I just called him Tantrum Ben. Tantrum Ben, yeah.
He jumps out of the car and starts, like, this cartoonish, animated, like, kicking the dirt around him. And it was at this point that I was like, he got so upset about them driving his car, because at one point earlier he says, "No one drives the car but me."
No one drives the cruiser but me.
I was like, did he steal this fucking car? And it's like this weird sub. This is the only thing that I didn't get right.
Yeah, it's one of the only things you called and that did not come to fruition.
I thought he like stole the car and was trying to protect them from like.
The tantrum is so funny though, dude.
Ridiculous.
He's like kicking dirt and like air punching, and then she like goes to confront him. And he's like, "I'm just surrounded by girls. I'm a guy, you know. I'm a guy." And it was like
he actually says the words, "I'm a guy, you know."
He says "I'm a guy" a couple of times, and I was like. That was one of the things where I was like, I don't know. Sometimes there's shit with these movies where you're like, oh, they were zeroing in on this audience. Like, I think if like whoever wrote that thought that this would be watched by anything other than like, you know, like a tween, probably girl, like that would not have been a line in this movie. But like because it's probably like, yeah, I feel like it was aimed at like 13-year-olds of both genders, but probably more so girls at the time, like. I mean, like I can imagine a 13-year-old girl watching this guy be like, "I'm a guy, you know. I'm a guy. I do guy stuff. I have a car and I do guy stuff like how guys do."
That's why they cast like a bargain bin combination of Tom Welling and Adrian Grenier. It should have just been Adrian Grenier.
I actually, as much as we shit on Adrian Grenier, whatever.
Listen, I mean, he wouldn't have been better, but
I probably would have liked it more. Yeah. And it's funny because like I feel like in Devil Wears Prada the whole time, the big thing I remember from Devil Wears Prada is like. If Adrian Grenier was a better actor, you'd give more of a shit about their relationship.
No, I agree. I actually still think that that's true.
However, in this movie, everyone is such a bad actor that at least I would have been like, "Oh, hey, Adrian Grenier.
Oh, look hey, he fits here."
Yeah, I would have been way better with it if Vinny Chase was in it because this guy, I don't know, I felt like the whole time he looked like Jim Caviezel too or whatever, right? The Passion of the Christ guy, or like,
literally Jesus.
Yeah,
no, that's what I meant. Jesus Christ.
The tantrums. He has like a couple more throughout the movie.
He has one at the beginning, like when they're at the hotel, like when he's like just so frustrated by that guy who hit on her at the bar, and then there's the one about the car, and then he has like one more when they get to Los Angeles.
When she's gonna like not go back with him or something, right? He's got one hell of a character arc, though. I'll tell you, like that's really his whole
shtick was so inconsequential.
Well, he was also the same the whole time.
Right.
Like
he never gets better or worse.
He just gets less mysterious. Right. That's the only thing that happens. His character doesn't change. His character doesn't learn or grow or anything. He just goes from being the mysterious guy to the guy that like...
I kept thinking it'd be really funny because like in the beginning of the movie, there's this rumor going around that he had killed someone and went to jail for it. And I just kept thinking that like when the other shoe dropped or whatever, and they actually found out what he went to jail for, if it actually came out that he had killed someone...
Right.
It would have been way funnier.
Oh
yeah, no, I killed a guy.
Yeah, like if they were like no, that happened. Like, you know, like if they got all the way through the movie. Yeah, if they got all the way through the movie and like, oh, I'm glad.
Just turns into a weird horror movie.
All of our misconceptions about each other are not true. He's like, except for mine. No, I killed a man. I killed a human man. Like, gone. Absolutely. I think that would really... We kept doing that, like, when she says goodbye to Aykroyd, when she's, like, leaving to go on the trip, and we're like, then she just murders him.
Yeah, she sneaks in the room to, like, leave him a note, just cuts his throat and runs.
The rest of the movie is about loss. Like, I feel like I do that a lot. I'm like, imagine if this car didn't make the jump off the ramp.
Dead.
The rest of the movie is just about, like, those that loved them mourning, like...
That's really fucked? Dark.
Is that, like, really
you
hard?
have a fucking issue.
Yeah, no, I apologize.
What else? I guess we noted... What else did we note? We noted a lot of signs of the times in the movie.
Yeah. So, like, the no cell phone thing, right? It's 2002. It's, like, right on the cusp of that.
Yeah, a little strange to me. Like, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like this should have had cell phones.
Yeah, I feel like I remember cell phones from earlier in my like adolescence and childhood, but like I guess
at least pagers.
Yeah. No one paged anyone.
Dan Aykroyd just paging her over and over again. 911, call home.
911. I took money out of the savings that I put aside for your college education that I worked very hard for.
Again, Lucy. Again.
To buy that pager for you, and then text that pager again and again and again and again.
What else did we have for Sign of the Times?
The billboard. That billboard in the back towards the end when they're in...
when they're in like LA or whatever, you see the Spy Kids billboard.
Yeah, which I never saw, but
It's okay, you don't need to. It's not good.
I feel like I was a little too old for Spy Kids.
I think we were both a little too old for Spy Kids.
But,
well, I mean, I guess it was 2002. Yeah, we were both older in high school.
I don't know. I mean, the rest of it, just kind of the way it was shot was the other thing for me. I was just kind of like,
And then there's NSYNC on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, bye, bye.
Did we look this up? Were they dating?
I think it was like close. I think they stopped dating in like 2002, and this movie came out in 2002, but it was probably shot earlier. Right. So they were probably dating while they inserted the, not cameo, but the reference.
That was the second time she sang in the movie, and I looked at Matt and realized I was in trouble.
He goes, I'm going to lose this.
I looked at him and I was like, if it's actually 10... Because earlier when you were like, I don't know, it can't be 10, I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. And the second that was like in the first like 12 minutes of the movie, I was like, I'm in trouble. Like Matt is going to pick the next movie and I'm in trouble.
It happened anyway.
Yeah, here we are. Tantrum Ben. I actually have Tantrum Ben written down 8 to 10 times throughout my notes.
I keep writing the accents. The accents
keep going in and out. So Mimi's story. You know what I thought was a sign of the times, and it was also a sign of like the very clear demographic for the movie being kind of like that tween age group is after the karaoke thing, right? They win a bunch of money, and then they get that hotel room that they think is really nice that still looks really fucking dumpy, and then they stay up all night talking, right? And then that's
in their PJs.
Yeah, that seems to be the moment in the movie where they reconnect and like
really become best friends again.
Yeah, like they kind of like they hear from each other what each other has gone through in the absence of their friendship and shit, right? So
which is a lot. They've all gone through a lot.
They've all gone through a lot.
You know what? Notably, Britney Spears less than others.
I thought.
Like she like the mom left, but I feel like that happened when she was a kid. Like
that
when
happened
they were still
before
friends.
They did the time capsule. Right. Yeah.
So like less than others.
Well, so let's just talk about their three things, right?
She works so hard.
That's her thing. Like she's got an overbearing dad, and she works really hard. And the mom left.
And he worked really hard.
And he worked really hard to put a lot of money into savings to pay for her college education.
And he will never let her forget.
He will.
And you will never let us forget it.
I will absolutely. I will say it several more times today. So. That's her thing, and I agree because that was like at least further back. Not that that's an easy thing, but it's further back, right? I'm gonna fucking end you. I'm gonna strangle you with your mic cable tonight. Is that an admission? Is that an admission of guilt?
Prove it.
Show your work. I just died.
Then we had
Zoe Saldana, right?
Kit, who's got. Well, she's got a bunch of issues.
No, her only real thing, like
which
in terms of
again I
like,
called
in terms of shit in her past, was that she had like an eating disorder, and they like
but kind of danced around it,
like a body image issue.
Yeah,
like her mom made her feel bad for being overweight,
and you can tell from like the first 3 seconds of the movie when they're taking pictures at like graduation. Mom goes, "Sucking that tummy, girl."
Yeah, and she's like very thin.
Yeah,
like
very thin.
Like, and then later she's like, the only thing worse was reaching my goal weight.
Yeah, the only thing worse than reaching
my mama.
No, the only thing worse than reaching my goal weight was reaching my goal weight. It was like the same thing twice, I think.
Well, she's like the only thing worse than like being overweight was reaching my goal weight, because then her mom was like,
I couldn't be prettier than
like
mom.
Hated her for that, right? She also had the issue of like she was engaged at the age of 18, right. And like her boyfriend was weird. Like absent at college and like really weird and whatever. Like there's clearly like some weird shit. I mean, you could call from the second she's talking to him on the phone and crying.
I mean, I think that was kind of just telegraphed.
This will end. Yeah.
Right.
And then finally...
He clearly had no interest in speaking to her when she talked to him.
Right. Mimi, who is 18 and pregnant, and it may not be her ex-boyfriends, right? So, like, those are, like, the three issues, right?
How's the fetus? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's so weird. That's what the ex-boyfriend says. Not like, how's the baby? How's the fetus?
Like, everyone's an asshole. Just everyone who's not them is an asshole.
No, they're assholes too to each other.
But what I was getting at with the sign of the times thing, right? To like just like kind of put a bow on the sign of the times, is, and again the demographic, like, so what we find out Mimi has gone through is like really fucked up because she's at like a party and
she's saying she doesn't drink, and the reason is because the one time she did drink,
right? She got really drunk and basically this guy took advantage of her, and it like doesn't address like the sexual assault or rapiness of it at all. It just says, like, she just says he was really nice, and then like,
and then he wasn't.
Yeah, and that's literally it.
Right. She was
and
like,
then they just apologize. And then like, did you go to the police?
When I couldn't walk, he drove me home, and then she just starts crying.
Right.
Look, it's implied,
It
but
never
they
says
dance around
anything.
Yeah.
But I think that's like kind of partially a sign of the times that they wouldn't like directly address it, but also like it is definitely very telling of like the kind of like the age of the audience that they're going for here. But I looked at you and I was like, wow, they really like danced around it.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't. They never once said it. And if you were young enough watching it, I bet you'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Wow, what a weird
He was
thing.
nice, and then he wasn't that nice to her, I guess. Like, you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand.
Watching it now, and I don't know. I don't know if it was obvious or like, I guess it wasn't that obvious because you didn't call. You disagreed with me when I said it.
What?
But like when Zoe saw Kit, no.
Oh,
She's Kit. When
Matt's
Kit,
immediate guess was that the guy...
Well, no, when Kit goes, what was his name? And she immediately turns away and goes, I don't remember. I was like, oh, Kit's
It's her
fiance
yeah.
was the one who like raped her and like, impregnated her.
That was another thing that like Matt guessed immediately, and it turns out at the end of the fucking movie,
spoiler alert,
blue bottle guy,
I'm sorry, that was the thing that tipped her off. Oh my god, a blue bottle.
There's also never any repercussion for that guy.
Oh no, he gets punched in the face.
That's all.
No,
he
I mean,
gets?
listen. No, I mean, he deserves more.
Oh
I'm just saying.
my God.
Another Telegraph thing where they're in the desert when the car's broken down or whatever. She's like, every girl should know how to throw a punch.
right.
I was like, this is gonna come around.
Mimi teaches the Zoe Saldana character how to throw a punch, and again, it was like nothing was like there wasn't a single thing that wasn't painfully obvious. Even so, spoilers. The tragic ending is that like Mimi falls down the stairs like during this like. This reveal at the end, right?
I'm sorry to laugh. It's
and
not
Matt
funny.
Matt called that she was... First of all, Matt like saw the stairs as they were going up the stairs, and he's like, she's going to fall down the stairs. And I was like, oh my... Like, I hope not.
Yeah, he was horrified by me. What's wrong with you?
And then it immediately happens. But the foreshadowing, again, like the horrifyingly obvious foreshadowing.
When they're on the shore, right?
They're on the beach, and she's in the water, and Britney Spears is talking to Tantrum Ben, and she's like... She's watching Kit and Mimi in the water, and she's like, look how happy Mimi is. She's just so happy. And I was like, oh, something fucking awful is going to happen right now.
Can we talk about Britney Spears and Tantrum Ben? Because this is the most just undeserved, like, love story. I don't want to say love story, but, like, romance ever. They just all of a sudden come together, and then it's just like, oh, okay, I guess this is a fucking thing now.
I think you're off base here, Matt.
Oh, yeah?
I think they really demonstrate their value and commitment to one another time and time again throughout this movie.
Because she's the only one willing to deal with him when he's having a tantrum? The other two are just like, no, he killed a guy.
Well, also, I also noted how, like, throughout the movie, I mean, from the beginning, but throughout it was, like, really obvious that so it's like three young women traveling with this guy who's like, he's like a handsome guy or whatever, and he's like the mysterious guy in a band or whatever, right? And they process
the mysterious guy in bowling for
process
soup.
of eliminate the other two because like the Zoe Saldana character is engaged, right? So she's like just trying to get to California to see her fiance. So it's not like she's going to be a romantic interest for him.
And the other one's pregnant.
And the other one's pregnant, like, and she indicates that she's going to like California because she's doing the singing thing, but she's also going to like I think give up the baby.
Wait, I'm sorry. We started talking about all their motivations for this trip,
and
we never finished.
No, I know, but like she's like she says she's going for that, but she
Right.
also like indicates that she's going there to give up the baby. So it's like she's serious. At one point they say like, oh, like
I must have missed that. Maybe I went to go get a drink or something.
So, but I'm saying like it seems like she's not interested in
Being
anything romantic either. So
Right.
it through those sloppy plot points like eliminates them as potential like competition as love interests or whatever.
Right.
And then it's like Britney Spears who's just like, I don't know, my dad wants me to go to med school and I sing real good. Like that's it.
Poor Justin Long just gets left behind.
I told you while we were watching it. They weren't dating. She at one point she's like, we're just lab partners. And I think again, it's so that we don't vilify her at all as like, but she has that boyfriend back home. What about him? You know, like it's not like there's no real wrongdoing by her at any point.
Right.
Do you want to talk about her seeing Kim Cattrall?
I was going to, but I was gonna say maybe we should clarify everyone's motivation for the trip. So Britney Spears, Lucy. Lucy wants to go see her mom.
She wants to find her mom. So she wants to be, because she hasn't seen her mom since she was like 8, and she wants to be dropped off in Arizona because she knows that's where her mom is, right?
Zoe Saldana wants to go meet her fiance in California.
Because she hasn't seen him since Christmas, and he's being shady.
He's being shady.
You acting kind of shady and calling me baby. Keep going. I'm just
say my name, say my name.
No, I didn't mean keep singing.
Oh,
the song.
sorry.
I meant...
and Kit is going for some weird singing competition.
She says she's going to audition for this record label,
which I think is hysterical because it's again one of those things that's telegraphed from the beginning. That's just like, oh, she's going for the singing competition. Clearly, Britney Spears is going to take this role at some point.
Britney Spears, you could sing backup, and you're like, oh right.
Okay, easy.
Easy
now.
Yeah, I bet. You know, that was my. I said that out loud. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet. Anyway, so
but it also comes out like a little bit later that once she's talking about the baby a little bit more to them, she's like, yeah, they like, you know, they gave me the names of like real nice people that like might take the baby.
Which also kind of confused me because then when she loses the child, so sad, very sad moment, she's like, I would have been a good mom. So did she like change her mind about finding a person?
I don't know. That was kind of unclear. But again, they did dance around her issues a lot because I think those were like the more mature issues of the movie. So I don't think we ever got like real direct.
She wasn't a girl. But she wasn't yet a woman.
Yeah, she just needed some time. Something. I don't
know. Anyway, so Lucy goes on the trip to see her mom, and we eventually get there. And I wrote this down because I thought it was super weird. But she's showing up unannounced to this mom's house that left, like on purpose, left this family.
Right. As her dad has like made her fully aware of.
Right. And she gets dropped off. Not like, hey, wait in the car, keep the car running. Just like, all right, I'll see you guys never. And goes in this house. Why would she think this would go well? Like at all?
Where she's talking to her mom.
Who is the coldest person on the planet.
And then she like they're mid-conversation. And then her mom goes, Lucy, we should talk. And I looked at Matt and I was like, what are they doing? What?
Aren't they talking now?
What, like it was already a heavy conversation. Like I feel like...
Lucy, why do you keep saying my name like that?
Oh, she kept saying, she was like, hello, Lucy, how are you, Lucy? What do you want from me, Lucy? Like, very stern and cold, but like, it was already a heavy scene.
Not your typical Samantha.
Oh, no. It was wildly out of Samantha character. Like, it was not what I wanted from Kim Cattrall in this movie. And Kim Cattrall's in the movie for like...
a heartbeat.
A minute.
Yeah.
But it was already a heavy conversation, and I feel like that's something you say when you're about to like sit someone down and have a heavy conversation.
It's also something that they put in movies just to have a cutaway. We need to talk, end scene, and move on.
And that's 100% actually. So you're right. They dropped her off at the mom's house and just like, bye, see you later.
Which I also thought was hysterical because the next scene she shows up at the hotel that they're staying at. How did she know where they were? Maybe they discussed it earlier, but like hard to believe.
Hard to believe. I mean,
because she kind of counted
they're 18.
on.
They're not planning. She was planning on being adopted by her mom in Arizona and living that Arizona lifestyle.
In that sweet palatial mansion she was living in.
It was a mansion, yeah. But that was also really fucked up. And their mom's like, you know, it cuts to like
total B.
Kind of the resolution of the mom storyline kind of ends right there because she's like, she goes and meets them in the hotel and she's like, she didn't want me. I was a mistake. Which is like all like tropey nonsense. But it was really sad in the moment, actually. That was actually like probably the best acting Britney Spears did in the movie. Because that was the only time when I was like, this is sad. This is a sad thing.
Wow. She's feeling feelings.
Wow. She's feeling feelings that are reminiscent of like maybe a fraction of a feeling in me. You know? Like it was just like, I do think that was probably the best that she did.
Did Kim Cattrall not want you?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like I guess what I'm trying to say is Kim Cattrall is my birth mother, and
has never wanted you.
Has never wanted
Garrett. We need to have a conversation.
Me, yeah, Mom. Hello, Garrett. What are you doing here, Garrett?
Why do you keep saying my fucking name like this?
Hello, Garrett. How are you, Garrett? I don't know. I mean, and then basically, like, how does this movie resolve? Like, what's so that's resolution of the mom storyline.
So they get to L.A. and like there's this singing competition and I guess based on the fact that
Zoe goes to find her fiance,
right? And you find out that the baby was his and that there was the rape and she falls down the stairs.
Horrible staircase scene, very upsetting, and then she loses the baby. Sad. And that's again very sad for like a minute. For
Sacred Heart University.
Right, that's the Scrubs Hospital. Yeah. That was awesome. I actually like the second we saw it, we're like, it was a sad moment, and we like were so distracted by the fact that it was the Scrubs.
That's Hospital. Where he is when he has his revelations. And it was right then that I realized that everything I went through on this trip really brought me to who I am today. Anyway,
every ending of every Scrubs episode ever. The Fray. And a revelation. Whatever. So, I mean, she loses the baby, very sad. But, I mean, that does resolve the pregnancy storyline. I mean, that's like a fucked up way to talk about it. But, like, that's, you know, they all have these arcs or whatever. And, like, it's like, okay, well, that's
it actually resolves both their storylines in one take.
Right. And Zoe finds out that, like, she's cheating and then she ends the relationship. So, like, both of those and it's a very abrupt sort of, oh, they're both done now. Like, we don't, you know, that's how both of those end. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then, what's her name? Britney Spears calls Dan Aykroyd to come get them all. For whatever reason, not all of their parents came.
He reminds her again about the savings and how hard he worked for the savings to put her through college.
I also thought it was not funny, but I'm a little heavy-handed, but also kind of funny. How many times Mimi tells them, I'm just from the trailer park, y'all.
It was just sloppy. It was
just every time.
Really just hammering us over the head.
Who are the cops going to believe? I'm from the trailer park. All right, relax.
No,
I feel like that actress always plays trailer trash.
Well, she was like...
Wasn't she... Isn't she like...
She plays like a local type person. Like, she plays like a... You know, like a... I don't... She's like a... She like follows the biker gang around or some shit.
In Orange is the New Black.
No, Sons of Anarchy.
And then she's like garbage in Orange is the New Black.
I don't remember her character in Orange is the New Black. I don't know if she's supposed to be
drug addict, like drug
she?
dealer or something. I don't know. I only saw a couple episodes.
I mean, she plays like a troubled person pretty well. Like, she definitely like...
Wow, mean.
I mean, she does. I mean, you know, some people are really good at playing, you know, heroes or villains or...
So Dan Aykroyd comes to get the girls, and like, there's this whole thing where she's just like, "I'm going home. I'm sorry, Ben. I gotta go home."
Tantrum Ben.
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing just like the end of the movie is so rushed, and like, at this point, I'm pretty glad that it was rushed because like whatever, I was done with this movie.
Yeah, and then listen, let's cut this off. She sings at the fucking concert.
Well, that's what I was getting
Mimi
at. Though.
Was supposed to sing at.
But there's never a moment where she's like, you know what? You should sing, Lucy. Lucy just sings.
She sings the song that Tantrum Ben wrote music to over a poem that she wrote in the backseat of the car during the trip.
That he heard once.
Which is, like, again, it ties up these really heavy storylines with her singing at an audition, which is why this is the longest intro to a music video ever
This
created.
audition, by the way, had a very large audience. There was just like hundreds of people being like, oh, yes. Thank God for this one. And then you get the double thumbs up from her dad in the audience shot, which was all I needed.
It's so good.
So I guess that's the whole
that is
long and short.
That is the whole plot. I'm gonna ask you.
Call back.
That is the Justin Long and Martin Short of it all. So
I gotta find a movie with both of them in it.
It doesn't exist. If that existed, we would know about it. I'm positive. So I've got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite character?
Did I have a favorite character?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
I didn't.
There wasn't a single person that you liked more than the other people?
I liked Zoe Saldana more than the other people, but not because of her character, just because I was so entranced by the way she couldn't keep a fucking accent on.
Yeah. I think
her story wasn't particularly endearing to me.
I think Justin Long was my favorite character.
He's just Justin Long. He's Justin Long.
He's just in Long. Fuck. No one will think these are funny, but I'm dying.
Puns.
Long puns. So, I think Justin Long was actually my favorite character. I think of the three of them, the Britney Spears is my favorite character.
I think she has to be. I mean, it's
made
that way.
I think she's meant to be.
Right.
Yeah, you know, she I found my mom. She didn't want me, but I'm gonna survive and succeed. Like, I don't know. I thought that was like a decent little arc. I don't know. Were there any?
Did you like this movie?
No, I absolutely hated this movie.
Did you really?
I had
vehemently? Like in your bones?
So it didn't make me mad in the same way that What Women Want made me mad, because that was like thematically.
Okay, because I was about to say, where do you rank this one?
Oh, so this is going to sound counterintuitive. I enjoyed What Women Want more than this movie,
really? But you recognize that as it was a worse movie.
But this was a worse movie than What Women Want, yeah.
No, I mean, you're saying you liked What Women Want more, and you said What Women Want is better. Then that's not counterintuitive.
Well, no, but that made me mad. Like, What Women Want made me mad, and this made me mad by like how bad it was, not like thematically for any reason. You know?
Gotcha.
If I had to rank them, I'm thinking like Pretty Woman, 13 Going on 30, Devil Wears Prada. Oh shit.
You forgot Clueless.
Clueless, definitely right there. What Women Want than this.
This is dead last.
This is dead last. Yeah. What about you?
Interesting.
What about you? Rank them real quick.
Devil Wears Prada. I'm sorry. Pretty Woman. 13 going on 30. Did I say Clueless already? Clueless. Mm-hmm. This. What Women Want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah. I mean, both of us have those two movies like trailing.
I think 13 going on 30 and Clueless can really change points change places at any given point.
That's how I feel about Devil Wears Prada and 13 going on 30. I think they're like about the same for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement. I mean, you really love that movie.
I mean, like I felt joy.
I felt joy in my heart. This is not a movie that comes on TV very often, so it's pretty much dead in the water. This is not like a...
Oh, I've never seen this on TV.
Right, well, I mean, we always ask if this should have died. This died.
Yeah, I think
and it's probably rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like kind of low budget and like pretty bad acting generally throughout it, and I think it's like definitely... I feel as though this is a movie that Dan Aykroyd and Kim Cattrall, not that either one of them is like, you know, has crazy chops like in other stuff, but like they probably look back and like, oh, and I also was in Crossroads. Honestly... I kept thinking like Justin Long is probably like, oh yeah, and I also met Britney Spears one time for 10 minutes when I filmed this movie. Like, do you know a question I wanted to ask that I feel like we haven't really touched upon that much in the past few? Why do you think this is considered like a chick flick, like in this genre? Like, why do you like what about it specifically makes you think it is this...
It's a coming-of-age tale about 3 teenage girls. That's what makes it a chick flick.
I'm sorry. That's
okay. It's gross.
I'm just really gross. Well, then, what specifically about it, like, as, like, I don't know, themes and stuff to you? Because I definitely agree. I think that's, like, why it's in the genre for sure. But, like, was there anything about it specifically that makes you think that it was, like, geared at women? Like, any specific, like, plot points or anything? Or is it just basically the same answer? Like, it's like...
Same answer. It's just the fact that this is like almost like a wish fulfillment movie for like young girls. Like, when I get out of high school, I'm gonna cross the country with my friends.
Yeah, it's a road trip to find themselves, you know. And I think that I think that could be, I think that could go for anyone like at that age. But sure. I think this movie specifically is like, obviously it's about 3.
I'm gonna feel things about stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait till I'm older so I can feel things about stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, ultimately, that's all I wanted to hit with that. Do you think people like this?
No, I mean,
did you look up Rotten Tomatoes for it?
I'm pretty sure that this movie was like pretty obviously just a cash grab at the Britney Spears like name and franchise at the time.
We looked it up. Like, Baby One More Time is like 1999, I think.
Sure.
And then Oops, I Did It Again is 2000.
And her album, what Britney? Is it called Britney?
I think that's like, it was like
2002 or
2001, 2002.
Yeah.
But I don't think that one's like a big one for me, at least. I think that has like Boys on it.
Boys. Well, isn't the next album after this like Slave for You and Toxic and all that?
Oh, is Toxic on the next one?
I think so.
Shit. Toxic's like my favorite Britney Spears.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
There he is. There's my boy.
Gotcha. Rotten Tomatoes was 14% for critics and 39% audience.
Is that 14 out of like a 15?
No, it's 14 out of 100. Out of 100.
Okay. All right. And 30...
better than I thought I'd do on the better than I thought it would do on the audience score. 39%.
Because like I feel like there was a target audience and like those people scored it high. You know what I mean? I feel like people like who were young at the time, and especially people who like were into Britney Spears. Also, like probably young dudes who were like, love Britney Spears. Like, I'm gonna go see Crossroads. You know what I mean? Like at the time, for sure. Like, I mean, she's gonna dance and sing. Yeah, I'll go. I'll pay money. Like, I can see that being like a demographic at the time as well.
Sure.
I've only met like 1 or 2 people ever who are like, oh, Crossroads. I like Crossroads.
Every person that I mentioned that we were watching this movie to was like, what are you doing to
yourself?
Yeah,
the vast majority was...
I don't think there was a single person that was like, oh, I like that one.
The vast majority of people that I told we were watching this movie were mad at you for me. So...
You deserve it. You lost the bet. And you lost another one.
All right, well, I'm going to have to decide what we drink next time, too, which is pretty cool. You're you're very proud of yourself, aren't you?
I always am.
So I think that brings us to the end of this episode of Drunk Guys on Chick.
Wonderful episode.
I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm gonna stay mad, and I hope I'm not nearly as mad next week.
I'll see what I can do.
Join us next week for whatever Matt decides to torture me with at that point. In the meantime, again, thanks for listening. You guys can catch us at DrunkGuysOnChickFlicks on Instagram, at DGOCF on Twitter. Check us out on iTunes, which you're probably listening to us now, but we're also on Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean,
so many things.
Anything you could possibly.
Overcast.
Yeah, any app.
Oh, don't call them stupid.
Any stupid dumb app that you want to listen to us on. We're there. Rate,
and
review,
they never heard from us again.
Tweet recommendations, anything you maybe want us to watch.
Shoot us an email at drunkguysonchickflicks@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, let us know if you hate it or loved it or hate the movie or love the movie or hate the sound of my voice or Matt's voice.
And it's us answering the emails, so you're not going to get some creep getting your email address unless Garrett looks at them, and then you're fine.
Well, I mean, eventually I'm going to just have our secretary do it. But I think for now it's important that we say face and, maintain the listener connections. And, it's like a FaceTime. FaceTime? Is it?
That's an app.
I hate you. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.